What's up guys, David here, and in this quick video I'm going to show you how to SIM unlock the iPhone 7. It's worth noting that this method also works for the iPhone 7 Plus and pretty much any other iPhone out there. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn off Find My iPhone, which you can do by going into the settings, then iCloud, then Find My iPhone, and then flip the switch to the off position. Once you've done that, go back to the home screen and open up the dialer and dial *#06# to bring up your iPhone's IMEI number. Write this number down and make sure that you get it right, as you're gonna need it later. The next step is to get the unique unlock code that your phone needs from an unlocking service, and soon enough you'll get an email that looks something like this, telling you that your iPhone 7 has been unlocked. And from here, all you have to do is enter in an unaccepted SIM card. So basically any SIM card that isn't from the carrier your phone is locked to. So in my case, since the phone is locked to AT&T, I'll enter in a T-Mobile SIM card, and then all you have to do is connect the phone to Wi-Fi, and that's it. Your iPhone will be officially unlocked.
What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and this is the battle of the beasts, the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge versus the iPhone 6. These are head-to-head competitors, and I want to put them to the test. How does Samsung's latest offering compare to the tried and true iPhone 6? As always, it's hard to be objective when comparing these phones. However, I will try and keep my thoughts to myself and let you guys decide feature by feature which one fits your life better, which one is the true match for you guys. Now, it's important to note that the iPhone 6 is halfway through its refresh cycle, which means it may not be a completely fair fight. If you guys want to upgrade, I would recommend waiting until the iPhone 6s, but either way, I'm going to be putting these devices to the test and seeing how they truly compare. The Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge is truly a stunning phone. The design is spectacular, the display is gorgeous, it's one of the sharpest, clearest displays I have ever seen, and I have fallen in love with this phone. Samsung has completely jumped ship and tried a new strategy for the Samsung Galaxy S6 and Edge variants, and I gotta say it's paying off. It's a phone that I can see being widely popular, whereas the iPhone 6 is a collection of refinements Apple has learned over the years from their iPhone 2G all the way to now. It's a phone that's so simple to use, so easy, and it really shows. All those refinements really add up. The S6 is something fierce though. It's a really exciting phone, really gets your heart going. Samsung has certainly blurred the line between the Galaxy S6 and the iPhone 6. No longer is there any user replaceable memory, user replaceable battery, there is no waterproofing or dustproofing anymore, so it's really similar. Samsung has certainly stepped up their game with the Galaxy S6. Build quality is now top-notch, just like the iPhone 6. Materials are made of aluminium and glass. Gorilla Glass 4 is being used on the front and back of the S6. These phones definitely feel like premium phones. Definitely a step up from that Galaxy S5 in its plastic finish. By removing the IP67 water and dust resistant rating, the Galaxy S6 was certainly trimmed down. It's 6.8mm for the standard S6 and 7.0 for the S6 Edge, making it really small and similar to the dimensions of the iPhone 6. Now the iPhone 6 comes in three colors, gold, space gray, and silver, whereas the Galaxy S6 comes in this dark blue, a white color, a gold color soon, and a blue topaz for the regular S6, and for the S6 Edge it gets a turquoise green color, which is really cool, but I don't think we'll be getting that in America. The S6 Edge manages to pack in a larger 5.1-inch display versus the 4.7 on the iPhone 6, all while the size remaining relatively comparable to the iPhone 6. Not only is the display larger, it has a much denser pixel density, 577 pixels per inch versus 326 on the iPhone 6. Let that sink in for a moment. What that means is really sharp images. While the iPhone is adequate, has a Retina display, you can't tell individual pixels apart, the S6 Edge is just that much sharper, and paired with an AMOLED display, this thing makes for a killer display. Colors are so amazing on the Galaxy S6. Darker colors are represented darker, and that Galaxy S6 display actually can achieve a much higher brightness than the iPhone 6, which pretty much means for outdoor use, the Galaxy S6 is going to be the superior device. The display is more legible, however, they don't do good in sunlight. The S6 is just a little bit better than the iPhone 6. But there's no doubt about it, the Galaxy S6 truly shows you what you didn't know you were missing. How can a display be better than an iPhone 6? Well, the Galaxy S6 answers that. Now, whether or not that Edge display on the Galaxy S6 is justifiable by $100, I don't know, but it is a super cool feature. It gives the phone a really nice, cool look. It's definitely unique, and it does add some slight functionality to the device, such as people view on the side right here, or a quick notification view off the lock screen. It certainly is a nice addition to the Galaxy S6. Now, comparing cameras on these guys is almost getting unfair. Spec-wise, the Samsung Galaxy S6 doubles the megapixel count of the iPhone 6. Now, that doesn't mean the quality is necessarily better, the image is just larger, but truly the Galaxy S6 has a great camera, a true step up from the S5. Now the iPhone 6 has a couple features that the S6 does not: 240 frames per second, 720p recording, and that True Tone flash, which gives you a perfect color flash in all color environments. Now you could argue that the Galaxy S6 oversaturates its images. They're not true to live colors, whereas on the iPhone 6 it does a much better job of color representation. The lack of optical image stabilization on the iPhone 6 is painfully evident. I'm holding these guys with one hand, and on the Galaxy S6 Edge the video is smooth and fluid, whereas on the iPhone 6 you can see all my judders when my hand shakes, so definitely a big advantage for the Galaxy S6 there. Focus is great on both of these, however I found on the iPhone 6 it's a little more responsive for moving targets. It can focus a little bit faster. No complaints though, both of these phones do have the latest focus pixel phase detection technology, and it's truly a great technology. Focus is fast, great on both devices, just a little better for moving subjects on the iPhone 6. And when it comes to slow motion, that's a real treat on the iPhone 6. 240 frames per second, you'll find yourself getting pretty creative with a whole bunch of footage. Now, front-facing cameras really can't compare. The Galaxy S6 is the selfie beast. It's got a 5 megapixel sensor with a much better aperture, so taking photos in low light conditions will yield better results on the S6. 1080p is standard, as well as a wide-angle lens, so you can fit more of your friends in that front-facing shot, and the S6 camera has a lot of cool modes that the iPhone 6 does not. Although both phones do have great cameras, the Galaxy S6 is just outperforming the iPhone 6. That 8 megapixel sensor is a bit dated. It's time for us to see a change, and with the iPhone 6s I expect that number to rise. Battery wise, the Galaxy S6 is equipped with a much larger battery, which means in the real life usage test, which these are benchmarks for, the Galaxy S6 Edge outperforms the iPhone 6. At the end of the day, you'll definitely have more juice in the S6 Edge, although both of these phones will last you a full day of usage. And also very important to note is that the Galaxy S6 also has an ultra power saving mode, which is incredibly useful. It shuts down a whole bunch of functions you don't need in order to preserve battery. It also has a fast charge feature, which can get you 4 hours of light usage in just 10 minutes of charging. And the Galaxy S6 is now compatible with wireless charging with many different standards. So if you have an old one at your house, throw on your S6 and you can charge it without ever plugging a wire in. That's really cool. And I'd like to add that both of these batteries are non-user replaceable now. Samsung really went all out with the power. As you guys can see, it's an octa-core processor, 4 of those being 2.1 gigahertz, 4 being 1.5 for power efficiency. The iPhone 6 just has that dual-core 1.4 gigahertz chip. Now it just looks like the Galaxy S6 is completely butchering the iPhone 6. In the actual Geekbench results, I was impressed. The iPhone 6 holds its own ground against the Galaxy S6 in its octa-core processor. Now graphical power, that's a completely different story. After closing all applications running in the background, I ran a Geekbench on both of these devices. Not expecting much, I was pleasantly surprised. With a measly 1.4 gigahertz, the iPhone 6 did much better in the single core score. Now single core is where it matters. You're not going to be using several cores to launch an application, to launch your messaging application. That's just the job of one core. But when it comes to the multi-core score, the Galaxy S6 outperforms the iPhone by a long shot. However, the iPhone 6 keeps up very well. Now those multi-cores are going to come in handy when running big applications. You won't use them in your day-to-day life, such as messaging, phone, stuff like like that. However, they will come in handy when running large applications. So I wanted to put that to the test. Here I'm just running a couple of games, opening them up at the same time, and understand the Galaxy S6 is running a game that's not exactly optimized for it, but all that processing power should make up for them. Well, the iPhone 6 loaded games a lot faster than the Galaxy S6 did. Not in all cases, but depending on the game, the iPhone 6 loaded it a little bit faster. Now, after running the GFX bench, it became quite clear the Galaxy S6 delivers poorer graphics performance than the iPhone 6. As you can see in these official benchmarks, the Galaxy S6 is even behind the iPhone 5S in some tests. That's a little bit disappointing because it has such amazing specs. The graphical power is just not on the same page as the iPhone. Now, that doesn't mean too much, except that the iPhone can deliver better graphics in certain games. Now, testing the web browser performance, I could tell that the iPhone 6 in most tests loaded the web pages a little bit faster. Depending on the content of the page, the Galaxy S6 sometimes loaded it a little bit faster. Overall conclusion is both are great. Both are very speedy. You'll be able to do a lot of browsing real fast. Now, I just want to highlight some features that are unique to each device. Maybe some of these will appeal to you more than others, but I just want to say the Galaxy S6 fills in a lot of gaps that the Galaxy S5 had. It's more like an iPhone 6 now. It has so many of the features the iPhone 6 had, like the same design in non-user replaceable battery, non-user replaceable memory, phase detection in the camera, similar tap-to-use fingerprint reader, as well as Samsung Pay, which will combat Apple Pay. So as you can see, these are more alike than they are different. Some reasons you might want to get a Galaxy S6 Edge over the iPhone 6 include that cool display. It's a really nice design, unlike anything that's on the market right now. The software is certainly more customizable. The multi-pane window really sticks out to me. Really cool for productivity. The Galaxy S6 also has a beautiful display, better battery life. It's slightly more powerful. It's got a better camera, better stabilization on the video camera, as well as wireless charging and ultra power saving mode, and so many other features. There's just too many to list. Some notable iPhone 6 features include unparalleled support, simplicity. Anybody can pick up an iPhone and start using it. You don't need to know everything about it to use it. It's got a more diverse selection in the App Store. A lot of the games and applications available in the iPhone are available in the Play Store on Android. Even spec-wise, even though this isn't officially made to compete with the S6, the iPhone 6 keeps up very well, both with the processor, the graphical power, and the camera. It does very well in comparison to the Galaxy S6. I would definitely say the iPhone 6 has a lot to learn from the Galaxy S6. True customization would be nice. A little more power, a little bit more megapixels would make it a killer. Now, which one of these phones is the perfect fit for you? That depends. Which features appeal more to you? For me, 240 frames per second on the camera is amazing. I would like that on the Galaxy S6, but I can't get it. User replaceable battery, I would like, it's not an option on either one of these phones, so it really depends on what you guys need out of your phones. So in conclusion, the Galaxy S6 is truly a worthy contender to the iPhone 6. It even outperforms it in many areas. Now, whether or not it's a right fit for you, that depends on your needs, of course. I do hope you guys enjoyed this comparison video. I hope I made that choice a little bit more clear with you after you watch this video. Definitely check out the durability drop test for the Galaxy S6. The results were really impressive. Hope you guys make the correct choice. Have a great day. Enjoy your phones. Peace.